Okay, section 12.1.3 now. We have obviously broken 12.1 down into 3 different parts. So we're taking things piece by piece. We're talking about inverse trigonometric ratios today. So quick review: sine, cosine, tangent, sine, opposite over hypotenuse, cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent, opposite over adjacent, SOHCAHTOA, right? All right, the inverse trig functions. Inverse trig functions are used to find the measure of an angle when you know 2 sides. So far, we've only found side measures. Now we're learning how to find angle measures. We have the inverse tangent, which is notated tangent to the -1. Now that -1 is not an exponent. It's simply the notation for the inverse. We access the inverse tangent on our calculator by doing second tangent. So you hit the second button, then you hit the tangent button, and you'll even see on your calculator there's a little tangent -1 symbol above the tangent button. All right, then we have inverse sine, which is second sine, and we have inverse cosine, which is second cosine on the calculator. All right, so here's our first example. It says find the measure of angle C. So that means we're finding angle C right there. So that's obviously the angle that we have to start from. Now we know the opposite side and we know the adjacent side. Opposite over adjacent is tangent. So we're going to do the tangent of angle C equals the opposite side length, which is 3, over the adjacent side length, which is 4. Now, the tangent of angle C, this piece right here, you cannot separate the tangent and the angle C. But what we can do is we can undo the tangent, and this is where the inverse comes into play. We undo the tangent by taking the inverse tangent. So we're going to do the inverse tangent of the tangent of angle C. And of course, whatever we do to one side of an equation, we have to do it to the other side. So we have to do the inverse tangent of 3/4. So the inverse tangent undoes the tangent, and that's what gets us our angle C by itself. And now we can plug the inverse tangent of 3/4 right into our calculator. Remember to make sure that you're always in degree mode. Hit the mode button. This is in degrees. Inverse tangent, that's second tangent. 3 divided by 4. 36.9 degrees. All right, in our next example, they ask us to find angle B. So now we're starting up here. Now from angle B, we know the opposite side and we know the hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse is sine. So we do the sine of angle B equals the opposite side length over the hypotenuse length. To solve for the angle, we use the inverse sine. We know if we take the inverse sine of the left side, it's going to undo the sine, and it'll leave us with angle B by itself. And now we have to do the inverse sine of the right side. Now we can plug the inverse sine of 7 over 11 right into our calculator. Second sine, 7 divided by 11. 39.5 degrees. All right, one more example. Find the measure of angle C. So here's angle C down here. From angle C, we know the adjacent side, and we know the hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse is cosine. So we have cosine of angle C equals the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. To solve for the angle, we have to use the inverse cosine. If we take the inverse cosine of the left side, it'll undo the cosine and leave us with angle C by itself. We have to do the inverse cosine to the right side. Plug it into the calculator. Second cosine, 8 divided by 13. Enter. 52.0 degrees.